Hello guys, so today we shall be discussing about the first pair of cranial nerve, that is your olfactory nerve. Olfactory nerve. All of you know from where this olfactory nerve is coming. Olfactory nerve is your cranial nerve number 1. All of you know this thing. Okay. From where this olfactory nerve is coming? Olfactory nerve is coming through the cribriform plate. Right. So if you remember, so in the previous classes, if you remember, that in the previous classes here we have discussed about the cribriform plate, right? So here if you see, right, you see this in the frontal bone we have got some bone called as ethmoid bone. Within this ethmoid, see I have drawn the ethmoid bone here, there are some small foramens here, these are called olfactory foramen. Why they are called olfactory foramen? Because the cranial nerve number 1 olfactory nerve passes through them, right? So the same thing which I am discussing over here, so this is the thing, olfactory foramen as well as the olfactory nerve. So you need to understand this thing, that olfactory nerve is your cranial nerve number 1. Now second important thing is that, now what is this picture first of all? Now in this picture you can see few important parts. First of all let me mention this. See, this part over here is called as your mucous membrane. This is called as your mucous membrane. Now what are these processes? These are called as cilia. These are called as your cilia. And you should know that this particular neuron, whatever you can see here, is a pseudo unipolar neuron. Okay. So the olfactory nerve neuron is what? It is a pseudo unipolar neuron. It has got two processes. One is called as a central process, another one is called as a peripheral process. So this process over here is called as your central process, and this process here is called as your peripheral process. So two processes. What are these two processes? One is called as a central process, another one is called as a peripheral process. Next, third important thing, you see some important cells over here, round cells which you can see, right? These round cells are nothing but called as sustentacular cells. What is the function? I will tell you. Sustentacular cells. What are these sustentacular cells and where are they present? They are present above the mucous membrane and they are present in between these pseudo unipolar neurons. So these sustentacular cells are those cells, whenever the pseudo unipolar neurons will be damaged, there should be some cells to repair. So these are the sustentacular cells which are responsible for the repair of these cells. Okay. And second important thing is that the central processes, they pass through some openings. You know what is this opening by the name? This opening is called as cribriform plate. You know, cribriform plate has got multiple openings, right? So these openings are called as cribriform plate. So through this cribriform plate, through the gaps of this cribriform plate, the central processes, they enter into this particular bulb-like structure. This is called as olfactory bulb. This is called as what? Olfactory bulb. Olfactory bulb leads to another structure called as olfactory tract. Leads to another important structure called as olfactory tract. Olfactory tract. So this particular one is your olfactory tract. Olfactory bulb and olfactory tract. Right? Now what is happening over here? The central process is entering into olfactory bulb. And this central process is relying on a specific nucleus over here, right? You see specific nucleus of a blue color neuron over here. This specific nucleus of this blue color neuron, whatever is there, this is called as mitral cell. What are these cells called as? These cells are called as mitral cells. And now the fibers of mitral cells, they pass through this olfactory tract and they divide into two striae. What are these two striae? One is called as lateral striae. Another one is called as your medial striae. Lateral striae and medial striae. Now what I am trying to tell you is that whenever you smell anything, right? If you are smelling anything, let us say any food, okay? This food, whatever is there, whatever you are smelling is nothing but the particles which you can't see. Yes or no? So these food particles, whenever they are entering to your nose, when they are entering into your nose, what is happening is that they get trapped within this mucous membrane. Okay, they get what? Trapped within this mucous membrane. Now, this mucous membrane, what it will do? These trapped particles, whatever are there, in the process of clearing, right? So, how these trapped particles are gone? These trapped particles are going by the ciliary movements like this. So, as the cilia are moving, what will happen is that these processes, whatever are there, they get activated. These neurons get activated. From here, the electrical impulses pass up all the way to your olfactory bulb. From there, the mitral cells take up the charge and they pass the electrical impulses to the action potentials to your olfactory tract. From there, the action potentials are divided into lateral striae and medial striae. So, what will happen over here? Just look at this picture. Now, in this picture, this one over here is called as your olfactory bulb. This is the base of your brain, right? Olfactory bulb. And this is called as your olfactory tract. Olfactory tract. What did I tell you? These fibers are called as a fibers of mitral cell. Fibers of mitral cell. Now, these fibers of mitral cell are dividing into two striae. See, let me write it as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, look, out of these 4, which are laterally located, which are medially located. See, 1 and 4 are laterally located. So, these are called as lateral striae. That's what I told you, right? They divide into lateral and medial striae. 2 and 3 are medially located, so you call them as a medial striae. And finally, these striae, they enter into their respective cortical regions. For example, let us say the lateral striae, number 1 is lateral striae, it enters into a specific region. This is called as amygdala. Amygdala. Next, the two medial striae, 2 and 3, enter into a specific region called as subcallosal gyrus. Subcallosal gyrus. Next, 4 enters into another important region called as hippocampus. Hippocampus. The functions you will very detailedly study in physiology, but just very briefly I am telling you one thing. You know hippocampus is responsible for memory. You know amygdala is responsible for emotions. For example, you have smelled a food, right now. You whether eat it, whether you don't eat it, that is different. That is a taste pathway. That is a different pathway. You have smelled a food. Now, after let us say 1 year, okay, after 1 year, again if you cook the same food with the same ingredients, if someone is cooking the same food with the same ingredients and all, again if you got a chance to smell that food, even without looking at that, automatically you will understand that you smell this food already 1 year before. Why? Because that smell, whatever is going inside your cortex, is stored within this hippocampus. Why? Because hippocampus is responsible for your memory. Second thing, if the food is good, the emotion will be good, right? The mood will be good. If the food is bad, or if it smells bad, not taste, I'm talking about the smell. If the food smells too bad, then the amygdala region, which is responsible for the emotions, will alter accordingly. If it is good, the mood will be good. If it is bad, the smell is bad, the mood will be bad. Okay. So, this is how it works. So, this is all you need to know regarding the olfactory pathway, guys. So, thank you so much for watching my video. Goodbye.